Hey everybody, and welcome to my N5 series on the SP404 Mark II, where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. YDK Rhymes writes in with some pretty good questions about workflow for beat and song making. Sounds like YDK Rhymes is a pretty new SP404 Mark II user, possibly kind of new to sequencing and doing these things in general. So I'm going to just show you a couple things. First off, I've got just these 4 samples that I'm going to use. So like a kick, snare, hat, maybe a crash or an open hat. I don't know. I'm going to use it as a crash. Anyway, I want you to notice is I've got gate on for all of these. And the reason why is I can just very quickly tap and not hold it and get some different expression for how this kick is playing. And I can also vary how hard I tap the pad here. So I can get like some different expressiveness to the pattern as I record it. Now I am going to finger drum this first. Let's delete this one here and we'll go record again onto pad 9. I'm going to set this as 1 bar and I want everything for this initial, like just kick and snare, for example, to be locked into a 16 bar or 16th note grid. So I want that to be consistent. You can do this or not do it if you want the strength. You can go to 0 if you want it to be super loose. We're going to just have the kick and the snare be pretty tight though. So I'm going to do this. And hopefully you can hear, I think I played these pretty much full volume, but some of the kicks aren't playing as quite as long as some of the other ones. And like this snare on the 1.2 is a little bit shorter than the full one here. Anyway, with that, we now got our first just 1 bar loop. Now, let's say I want to come in and record some hi-hats over this, and I want them to be super loose. I can just turn strength all the way down, and it's going to record at 480 parts per quarter note. It means that's how many different places it can line up for that event, and it should sound completely different, and you should notice that it's not on the grid. So I'm going to hit record. And we're just going to tap out some notes. So you can hear, maybe you can hear, it's not lined up 100% on the grid. We can quantize it later, but I want it to sound a little loose and be kind of fun. Now let's say we've got those 3 parts. And we're trying to kind of keep adding some sounds. I've got this crash here. And I can play it like real short, as I said, or hold it down. I want this to be a crash kind of sound to lead out of every 2 bars, but we've got a 1 bar loop. Well, how do we do this? It's pretty easy. All we have to do is go pattern edit, hit pad 9, menu, and duplicate. We've just converted this from a 1 bar loop to a 2 bar, and now we can come in and add in that extra crash at the end. So I'm going to hit record again. We'll just do pad 9. This time I think I want the strength up, because I want it to actually land on probably like 2.3 or 2.4. We'll see. So we're going to come in. Yeah, I put on 2.4, just where it sounded like it should go. So we've now got a 2 bar loop. And to your question, like, yeah, I've been finger drumming this whole thing. I could absolutely, though, if I wanted it to be locked in or have very tight control over where notes go, I can also come in and do the TR rec mode. So I'm going to come in, we'll do TR rec. I know it's 2 bars, so we'll just let it be 2 bars. I just hit remain to switch into TR rec mode, and that's just how you switch between real time and the TR rec. TR rec mode is going to show us a step sequencer, and to basically select the note that you want to play, you do this. Let's go for a 4 on the floor this time. And I'm just going to do like super basic, kind of like house beat. And next pad we want the snare. We'll do the snare on the 5 and 13. And I did this before real quick. To switch between the bars, you just rotate your value knob here and you can switch between the bars. Kind of hard to see visually, but you can see the color of the pads change. So we just very quickly got this down. To add in hats, sub pad, hit the note that you want, and we'll just do a kind of boring pattern because everything's locked into the grid, but it can be easy to work with. So let's actually take these out on the last one and we'll do a crash. We'll get the crash loaded. Now I want to show you something though. You're going to see that crash didn't play very long. The reason why we got to go do that is, or to fix that, it's remain. Yeah, we'll take it off. So I just tap it to remove it and then hit it again. And by hitting remain, I switched from the basically taking the step that it was just playing in, and it's going to hold that note until the end. That's all that this is controlling. So yeah, I mean, I can't say one's better than the other. I tend to mix between the two based on what I'm trying to put together and how I'm thinking about it or going about it. If I know what the pattern is, I'll usually just go to TREC and program it in. Like you can go find all kinds of drum pattern books and things that will show you, and just know where your notes are, just drop them in on the grid. Totally fine way to do it. Otherwise, if you're just like, I don't know, I want to get like kind of weird and try something experimental or put things where maybe it sounds good, just go in for a real-time recording, not a problem. Your next question was, about making your pattern and copying like pattern banks and removing sounds and things. I would say personally, I like to kind of get different parts and I'll just keep building them up until I'm like, this feels like it's got either enough or too much in it. And for example, you know, we've got this here. Maybe I just want those hats to play. Maybe that's just all I want. So it's not a problem. You know, we've got everything else, but you just hit this pad and the one that you want to copy, push remain so that you select what samples you want to copy. So let's say we just want the hats and the crash. Then press remain again, hit pad 11. I'm just going to check. Oh, no, you want to do it at the end. Sorry. And then just hit copy to commit it. And I've now got the same pattern, just minus the kick and the drum. And the reason why you might do this is I want to switch up and change my drum and snare pattern. So maybe I want to come in now and record. While it's playing, I could just hit record, switch right in, and we go in. Let's see, what feels like a fun pattern to do. We'll do something like lighter. So kind of a, oh, you can hear I got like one of the notes is off. So we're going to exit out. And if you're in this mode, you want to get into TREC because you want to go see what you did and edit it. Just hold shift and record. We're now into TREC mode from just having it play. I'm going to come over. Yep, that's off. So let's just fix that. We can check our snares. And they're kind of in I mean, the kicks are in traditional spots, but you can see like the snares are someplace else. And we can just switch between these now. Go 9, hit 9. And if we hit 11, we can switch over and it'll kind of cue it up. So it's a way that we can come in and change patterns and kind of mix them up, remix them, do other things with them. Your next question, how do you find variety in making drums? I think you just play it a lot. Just try different techniques for recording. I mean, I didn't even get into recording. Like you can go resample to 10 and we can just play something by ear and see how it sounds and do something like a, and you know, hit record. It's not going to be, this is not to BPM, but this is what I just played. Must have some effects on the bus 3 and 4 because I can hear a little bit of whooshing from probably some compression. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You know, I can then take this and play other things to it and just kind of keep resampling to add content on top of it. The problem with doing it this way is you're kind of committed because you keep adding layers on top of layers on top of layers, and that may not be what you're looking to do. So if you want to be more flexible, absolutely use pattern mode to add your sounds and keep layering them on. And don't be afraid to either, just because adding isn't always the thing to do. Sometimes it's just remove stuff, change it up, switch it around, and see how it works for you and sounds for you from there. Your last question, how do you know when the beat can't be layered anymore? It depends from genre to genre of music. I can't give you a direct answer to that. I would just say, like, when you start running out of like low end room, mid or high end room to put sounds, because things start getting muddy, usually the best thing to do is start removing elements to make room for other ones, or go in and start EQing things or pitching them up and down. Like just mix it up, change things around, see how it fits, see how it sounds. Anyway, YDK Rhymes. I hope this was helpful for you. Everybody else, thanks for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.